Welcome back, everyone. This is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, here with a video I hope reaches you all before the end of Island Raid. And that is going to be a video on how you can get out of sticky situations, especially as they pertain to your shelter being attacked. I know this is going to be a bit of a scary thought to think that your shelter is going to get raided at the end of all this, but it is. In the rules, after the event is over and you are told you have to go back home, there will be about 12 hours where you can't protect yourself. Being in alliance on alliance territory will not protect you in this case. You will have no shield. You will be sitting on your own alliance territory, and as soon as that timer goes off, enemies will be swarming any shelters that are currently available just to try and get their resources back. I'm here to tell you ways that you can combat that if you come in during an attack or can't react to it fast enough. I want to start off with the things that you're not going to be able to do. The first thing that you're not going to be able to do is heal your troops. While your shelter is in combat, this bar down here will not allow you to heal. Now, it makes sense if you think about it, because if you were constantly able to heal your troops, then you would be refilling your troops as they fell in combat, and it would basically lead to an almost indefinite fight. Now, eventually one side would win and one side would lose, but you're talking about fights that are so far drawn out that they're not going to benefit anybody in the long run. So, while in combat, you can't heal. The other thing that we're learning that you cannot do is teleport. You cannot use any of your relocators if your squads are in combat. That includes your garrison squad. So if your city is being attacked by multiple people, you can't move. You're stuck there. Now, if you can get to it before any of your enemies have reached your base, sure, get the hell out of there and avoid being in that fight in the first place. But as soon as they start hitting you, you can't relocate. Now, what are some things you can do? You can shield. I don't think I have one right now. I don't tend to keep one stocked. I'm usually fairly active during island raids, so as soon as reset happens, I've hit that leave button and I'm out. But you can shield, and it will stop the fight immediately. You can change your garrison captain mid-fight. So if your garrison captains are, say, out for whatever reason, and you bring them back in the middle of the fight, you can put them back in place in the middle of that fight, and it will change it for the fight, which can make or break a defense. I know we've run into a lot of cases where they will put like a Liam or a Russell on the wall, but only because their main defense troops are out. Good place to see this is in Pompeii. Their defense troops will be out defending an operations center, and they will pull them back to defend against you attacking their shelter, and you will watch it switch on the map. Now, I've told you what you can do. I've told you what you can't do. Now, you have a swarm of enemies attacking your city. What you will see a tactic being used is they will use multiple armies to attack your city, and they will prep an attack to launch immediately after the fight is over. Now, I don't have any zombies stacked up, but I want to give you an idea of what's going to happen. I'll send these 3 over to hit this zombie right now. While they're in combat, I can prep another attack by 1 or all 3 of these to begin marching as soon as the fight is over. As soon as I get a report saying that the fight is ended, I'm starting the march to another place. If your enemies are surrounding your shelter, that means as soon as they start to walk away, they're going to turn around and hit you again. You have between a half a second to a second to react at this time. So what can you do? If you want to go the stoic route, you can heal. You can be prepped, and you will see a red border surrounding your map. As soon as that report pops up in the bottom and that red goes away, be ready to hit that heal button, and you can heal your troops and speed them for the fight that you're in. You can't start new healing, but you can finish healing and it'll count. The other thing that you can do, and what the other video from Pompeii will show you, is prep a teleport. And in the same way, I'm going to pull out a teleport here just to give you an idea of how to set it up. I'm going to pull a specific relocator. I'm going to come over here, and I can see the map very clearly. I can go wherever I want to go, even if it's way off to the side from my map. And I can prep my city to be relocated. This is the only button I have to hit as soon as it's ready. There will be about a half a second between the fight ending and when they will start again. But the report saying the fight is ended will show up, and as soon as you see it, click that button. It does work, and I will show you a video proving that in Pompeii, where the rules are slightly different. But in that video, it fails because I am currently in combat, and then it succeeds immediately after combat is over. So let's see if I can get that video working right now. Okay, so I found it, and I went ahead and cut it down to the points in which I realized that my shelter is under attack in the middle of Pompeii, after I'd been kind of using it as a decoy in order to push our troops forward. And here I'm seeing myself get okay trades, believe it or not, on defense in my tiny little shelter, and realizing my garrison captains suck because my main one is out. So I will change my garrison captains mid-combat. You'll see me cycle through which ones I decide to use, and I'll pick whichever ones that I want to pick, and when I back out of this, you will see that it changes it in the fight as well, where I now have Lee there garrisoning me, but I'm not doing well. Thankfully, Pompeii doesn't have the rule where your marches have to be sheltered somewhere in order to teleport. So I went ahead and moved my Rigoro up to the operations center, which is what I really wanted to defend, and you'll see me here try and do a relocate to this area. But because my shelter is still in combat, it won't let me. And I thought at first that it was because my troops were moving, but I see that I'm still being attacked by 5 or 6 people, so I come down here to test it again, to see if I can time it for when the enemies have to stop combat. And I'll set it up here. You'll see the report pop up at the bottom, and the relocate works because I'm no longer in combat. The enemy didn't have a chance to set up an attack on me immediately after winning, so I was able to relocate my troops out of harm's way simply by timing it properly. And with that, I hope this video was informative. I hope it helped you figure out how you can avoid being stuck in a situation like this, and how you can help yourself and your team get out of these shelter attacks without losing all of your troops. And with that, this is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, signing off.